engineering in electronics and communication engineering. And professionally, I have been working as a quality assurance engineer from the last 3-4 years. Now I am at Cloud Factory. So today I will be presenting on the topic of quality assurance. In nowadays, we often misunderstood between a test engineer and a quality engineer. So hopefully my presentation will differentiate those two topics. So moving forward, so I have listed agendas which I can cover today for my presentation. We'll be giving some information about what quality and quality assurance means, and then I'll be talking about quality assurance as a role in different organizations. After that, we'll be talking about why quality assurance is really important to any organization, any business, and then we'll be touching some parts at how we follow at Cloud Factory, how we include QA as a process at Cloud Factory. So, I think what is quality can be easily described by the measurement of excellence, because if we consider to deliver a good product, there is a need of quality. So quality is based on acceptable performance. It is also known as it is also based on meeting requirements as well. So since we know what quality means, then we will be moving toward quality assurance. In the picture we can see that there is different components quality assurance touches. We can see that there are satisfaction of user, there is a different business requirements, and we need to have a continuous improvement in our development phase, and these things should be considered as a factor that introduce quality assurance. So based on this, we can define quality assurance as the process that demonstrates our product is able to satisfy our user. Since I already talked that quality assurance is different than the testing part, it is solely dependent on procedure and process we followed in our development cycle rather than doing the actual testing. So it is process oriented and make sure that you are doing the right things in the right way. And the other thing I would just want to give little bit of intro on this is that quality assurance is composed of these three aspects. In different phase of software development cycle, if we are able to achieve this aspect of quality assurance, we will be making sure that we are delivering a good product to our users. So giving little bit of insight in fault avoidance, fault detection and fault tolerance. Fault avoidance will be in the part that if we are able to involve a QA in a starting of our development cycle or something in the analyzing part, then we will be able to find out a small kind of box that can be coming up when we start the development. So this part will be covered on fault avoidance part. And the fault detection part. The fault detection part can come up in when we have small portion of our code is ready and we need to have it integrated with something other like UI part and backend part. And at that point, when it's actually come to a tester, we need to have test it and look for any defects it has. So the fault detection part will be covered on that, and the fault tolerance part will be after everything will be ready. We cannot guarantee 100% accurate product, right? So there might be some glitches, but with having those glitches, if our product is able to work successfully and able to satisfy our user, we can move forward with that product, right? So considering those fault and tolerate those fault, we can move to release our product to our users. So this will summarize the aspect of quality assurance, which will be, I guess this gives little bit light on why quality assurance needed as a process. So moving forward, quality assurance as a role, since different organizations called quality assurance have different kind of role at different organizations. There might be some role like software tester or quality assurer, quality controller. We have different kind of roles, but here I have listed some of roles we can consider in your future if you want to hire someone in quality part. So these are the three things I want to talk about. Let's say these are the three QA hats which helps QA to perform at its best. So first, quality analyst. Quality analyst can be the portion or can be a role that helps development. Sorry for the interruption. So I was talking about different kind of roles that we have in software industries. So we can consider this three kinds of role as quality assurer, and the first one is the quality analyst. The job of this role is to build quality into the process when we are developing anything. So if you consider a QA personnel while we are developing something and give them ideas about what's going on, not technical wise, but if we can give an overall view of what is developing, then it is helpful for them to plan accordingly to have best product. Similarly, as a quality assurer, I have mentioned that it is easy enough to build quality in. So what quality assurer does is that they go in the market and they go with or sit with the users and try to collect their expectations, their what they actually need. Then the quality assurer will help the team to understand how our product will be copied in the real world. And the quality ambassador role. What actually it does is that the team that is involved in the development of any product will actually care for the quality of the product or not. The main role it do is to make everyone accountable for the quality of the things they build. So, as Pratik mentioned earlier, there is not enough owning of the product, because if we don't own anything by ourselves, we will be not able to provide good quality to the user as well. So, as I talked earlier, that I think this role can be known by most of the people here. These are the common term that is used to define software engineer, software QA engineering, software engineering. There are different roles like quality assurer, quality controller, and tester. These are different kind of role that is famous these days. So. The reason I have talking about the difference between these three is that those are totally different from each other. Quality assurance has their own part of job, whereas quality controller and the tester have their different kind of role. So going through those points, quality assurance, as I already said, that it is a procedure focused role, whereas quality control is that fulfilling the request our user have. Similarly, testing can be defined as the process of executing some scenarios that we already have. So testing, the main job tester will do is find the bug into the system. And so moving to next point, quality assurance can be different from quality controller. Like, it will be include in whole cycle of software development, whereas quality controller will be involved in software testing cycle. This is another part we have in testing part, and testing is falls under QC, quality controller. So the another point I am to look at is that quality assurance can be achieved by improving production process. So if we consider quality at the beginning of any development cycle, we will be able to achieve that quality assurance part as well. So for quality control, what we do is we inspect, or we just perform some kind of checking to see if a product is working or not. That is only when it is fully ready to integrate or something like that. And testing is done by performing different kinds of scenarios, test scenarios we have prepared. So these are the difference between different roles in software quality assurance engineering. Hope everyone is clear. So since I have talked about different kind of role, what quality assurance is really mean and what it is, now we can move on to the part that why really we need a QA process in software development cycle, right? Most of the case we have is that if we can develop a good product ourselves, why we need a QA? The first question everyone have is why we need a QA or a QA process. So my presentation will clear that confusion as well. So as you can see in this picture, that we have in the market we have different kind of users with different requirements. Like some of the user may have a requirement to have a product with good performance. Some have requirements of having more security to their product. Some user need a easy to use product. So there are different kinds of users. So we are working to satisfy their requirement, right? So based on this, now the importance of quality assurance, if we consider it as a key process, regardless of when you believe that when testing should be started or something like that, it will be always great to have QA professional throughout the cycle, because the sooner the people know about what is developing, what is coming in your way, they can prepare themselves in a good cycle, and they can perform at their best. So if we consider that, we will be able to have we will be able to ensure that design and making process in the right standard set, and we will also make sure that right product is delivered to our user. We can and think the quality assurance as a process help is that it will minimize the risks of failure. If we know any bug is there, we will be pre-assured that it won't be released to the user with some defects in it. And lastly, it can also help on saving time, saving money, saving time, saving rework preparation or something like that. So this will be the importance of having QA as a process. So moving forward, since we face different kind of stress and everything at work, hope that will release some of the stress you're having right now. That what if I told you QA is here to help? After we consider QA as a process in our software cycle, these are the things that will be improved in our development process. We will be having improved operating efficiency. We can reduce time and effort on report, and we can have build a culture of continuous development. There will be trust and respect between the team members. Like not a single person is responsible for the product to fail, right? So if we have a mutual trust and respect between team members, that those part will be covered on that, and it will help on development of correct solution to the users. So that is all about quality assurance as a process in different organizations. So I'll be talking a little about how we include QA as a process at Cloud Factory. So at first, anything that came in development, we start analyzing the requirements of that piece. I think everyone does that. So after our product came in hand and we started working on that, we started with analyzing requirement. After that, what QA personnel does was the drafted scenarios with different kind of test cases for that product, and then the test cases will be uploaded for review to our team members as well as our QA personnel. We have a team of QA who review those cases. If they pass the cases, we will be saving them for future uses. After that, since we followed test-driven development in our development cycle, when a PR is ready, it goes for a code review to other developers, and then we have a check-in builds in GitHub repo where our since everyone knows that there is a test spec for PR in build, that will be passed to the check-ins, and if everything goes right, the check-in pass will cover that. Then the code will come to the QA personnel. What they do here is they deploy it the piece into staging environment at where we deploy the changes and start to test the changes based on the scenarios we build at the starting of development. After that, if any issue came up at that point, we ask developer to fix those issues, and that will go backward to that cycle. Then after that, after there is everything goes all right, then the thing we do is we will be prepared to release it to our client. if it is a big change and we required our DevOps team, then what we do is to communicate with our DevOps team and ask for their help to set up for production environment. If there is no need of DevOps personnel and we can directly jump into production, what we do is directly merge that PR to master and deploy it to production server. After deploying it to production server, what we do is to recheck the test scenarios with the feature in production. That is the sanity testing part. I will cover on that, and then monitor with different kind of monitoring tool and see for a certain time if it really work or not. After everything goes right, what we do is to make a change log of the features that are gone into production, and then create a release tag for future reference. Why we need a release tag here is that if something break up when we deploy it into production, we need that stable tag for our rollback strategy, because there is minimal chance of something breaking after going into live. So for that case, we have to prepare as a release tag, which helps in rollback process. So this is what we followed at Cloud Factory, and this process in different scenarios, it helps a lot to have our product with best quality here. So at last, I just want to say that let's take QA as a whole cycle, not as a one-time event. If we can consider this as this in our development cycle, we will be surely gonna have a product with good quality, because bugs that are found earlier can be easy to fix rather than waiting for it to come in production. Sometimes we misunderstood that if we consider QA in a process, it will gonna slow down our process, or quality personnel may point out a portion that it is your fault or something like that. It is not the case. As already I have named that saying QA is here to help. So QA will be helping you in a case that if we are releasing a feature, they can make sure that the feature is implemented in such a way that it will have a quality built in it and all the requirements our user have. So that's all I'm gonna talk about. So have a good time. And